Alex, and thank you, speakers. That was great. Now, I've been hosting for the last 2 days, so I get to actually not just be a host, but be a moderator as well. So I'm going to be joined on the stage by Alex, if you'd like to join me. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Just thanks for wonderful chat about ChatGPT. I'll start with transition, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it.
Yesterday at night after the conference, I saw a wonderful article. Make your Siri smart. So there is a way to connect ChatGPT to your Siri. You say, hey Siri, it says, what's up? You say, smart Siri, it connects to ChatGPT and it becomes really smart. Go use it, don't thank me, but in general, just my piece of tech. Amazing things, which now you can ask and talk, and it's really good.
Right, this is going to be a very relaxed fireside chat. It's lovely to properly meet you in person today.
Likewise,
I know we've had a few chats over the phone, but it's lovely to actually meet you today.
Yeah.
So our fireside chat this afternoon is the rise of in-house marketing following the industry trendsetters. I'm Sarah Butler. You've seen me, probably sick of seeing me in the last 2 days, so I do apologise. I'm the founder of Sport Business Connected and Breaking Down Barriers. I'm a PR and marketing consultant, and I'm joined by Alex Kornilov, serial entrepreneur. I've done a bit of research on you, so I'm gonna read this out, and do tell me if there's anything that I'm missing. Okay. Serial entrepreneur with extensive experience in sports betting, iGaming, and sports media. Working as a research analyst in the early stage of his career helped him develop knowledge and passion for big data analytics, machine learning, AI, and ad tech. We good so far?
Good. Yeah.
Good. He founded Betegy in 2012, and since then the company has established itself as the marketing technology provider of choice to global sportsbook and media outlets, and has received multiple industry awards for its market-leading technology. Welcome, Alex, and thank you for joining me.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone, for coming, and thanks for a nice introduction.
Hey, John. Thank you for asking me to moderate. Appreciate it. I wanted to start this chat by talking to you about how disruptive marketing has influenced the rise of in-house marketing. Now, the last 12 months have completely altered the way brands approach their digital initiatives, according to an industry study that I read about, which surveyed senior European marketers to investigate how in-house marketing teams are evolving in 2022. Now, the report includes responses from businesses in a range of different industries, including entertainment and media, mobile, online gaming, retail, e-commerce, iGaming, consumer tech, financial services, telecoms, travel, CPG, FMCG. Wow, that was quite a mouthful. One of the main points that jumped out at me while I was reading this, and I mentioned it to you before, that 97% of companies have moved at least part of their digital marketing in-house. And that the study found that more than half of respondents have increased in-house team headcount by 1 to 2 people. It's about 29%, of 3 to 5 people, about 28%. Now, I'm going to stop talking, because you're the one that knows how can explain this a lot better than I can. But I've worked in a number of marketing teams during my career. I'm currently advising companies on their PR and marketing strategies. What do you think the reasons are for these changes over the last year?
Sure. And let's zoom out from a little bit from a specific question and just talk about why, like, in-house and and agencies or third-party services which our industry would use. So imagine you have an operator which starts the operations in, emerging markets, so any new market. The cost of starting a business in our industry, which is very much guarded, so you need to have a license, you need to have KYC, you need to have financials, you need to have the whole team. Your expense is so high, so you cannot actually bootstrap the marketing right away. As soon as you get your license and soon you start working, you need to jump into the water instantly. So the day you're able to operate, you have to start instantly to get your players every day, because otherwise your expenses will eat up and you'll be 1 year brand and thank you very much and goodbye. Therefore, using the agency or in-house is very natural. So you go to the agency, you negotiate the deal, CPA, whatever it is, and you go in and you actually get your business started. But then after some time, what happens is that you are more on a needle of the marketing suppliers and agencies who actually give you player, but you have no transparency what actually is going on behind the door. who is your customer, who is your traffic, where it comes from. Of course, you can talk about this. Of course, you can discuss it with your partners, and they'll be happy to share certain information. But it's interesting that you have no influence over this. So you can say whether you have a player or you don't have a player. And what happens afterwards is that as soon as you stop investing in this relationship, or your KPIs are changing, or you want to start knowing who is actually the people your brand is talking to, you're blind, you're in the dark. So it's more like at night you just have a bit of a vision, and that's maximum what you see. And this is kind of fascinating. And as soon as you start to move your KPIs, like as soon as you start to acquire it, you need to understand that the agencies are not willing to share this data with you. Therefore, the need for knowing this becomes higher and higher the more you want to build a brand. And sorry, what is interesting is that if you take a look on a product side, not on product, but like on the offering side of betting operators, let's say you have your product, you have your platform, you have all the stages done to go live, and you go live. But what will differentiate one operator from another operator is not actually the product itself, because the wagering process is like, I get my odds, I do the bet, I get the payoff, and that's it. What will differentiate you is marketing. And this what will be the long-term value of the company which you're building, beyond the mathematics of let's say, of unit economics afterwards. And what happens is that we are in a marketing war process of actually acquiring the clients. And if we take company A and company B and try to look which company will be more valuable in the long term, the one which knows its KPIs and know how to market to the people they want to would obviously be a better solution to invest in, to buy, to build long-term value. Yeah, therefore, let's say your product, your platform, your payment providers, KYC, your license is a level 0. Then after you can start offering. And then when you do offering, marketing becomes very important, and people will basically follow the brands which are better marketed. That the platform will be secondary. It's like important, but it's long-term, it's very hard.
You mentioned, we were chatting before, you mentioned a really interesting thing to me when we spoke previously, and I wanted you to expand on it a bit more for the audience today. So you said modern betting is about marketing.
Yeah.
Customer acquisition is more important than the product itself. This is what distinguishes one betting operator from another. Mm-hmm. Can you expand on that a bit more?
That's exactly where I was heading. It's very important to understand, to know your audience, and to know how to cater to the people you actually who will convert. Yeah. And since we work with multiple operators, what's happening lately? A lot of them start to ask questions how to know this and why. Why? And many of those companies are designing their internal tools to see beyond the agency, and they create this kind of they use neural networks, they use a lot of things to know what to do with the creative content, how to talk to them, what kind of languages they speak, and so on and so forth, to get to increase the KPIs of your product. And therefore, the ones which do this, they build the value year over year over year in comparison to the ones who use a third party.
Okay, next question for you. Can you summarize three things one needs to do to the bottom of your marketing processes?
I would say first start to build your KPIs, and I prepared a few slides here just for our I will use some of them. I will not bore you guys, but in general, just give me the second. So we did the research. This is just example. How, for example, we were selecting the ad server for our internal processes, and we were considering multiple ad servers and multiple solutions to put the backend in. We started to test many things, like how fast is, let's say, in-house solutions of our clients versus what we can offer in terms of the server capability. And we did extensive study of billions of impressions, of looking into this, and we said, let's do 7 different sizes of banners, let's do multiple data entries, let's do casino, let's do real A/B testing of sports books. And then we compared it to our clients' performance solutions and our competitors' one. Then we started to compare, and we ended up with these numbers. Some improvement of CPC cost by 16% by the speed of loading of the banner. So what we were searching actually is the speed of load of the banner, how important it is. And what happened is that those were the results. And if I will be shown these results, I will have no idea what they mean if I don't have the previous results in my hand. And if I go back a few slides, this is the underlying value of those things. Like so if we say that viewability rate grew by 15%, what we have is that actually when we measured the data transferred and number of HTTP requests which our banners with live data do to the server, and if we can make it from 15 requests to 11, and then decrease the data transfer, optimize it, we actually can enjoy this kind of numbers. And then we dig deeper, like, okay, what about the loading speeds? Is the loading speed will influence my CPC cost? Then I said, okay, so let's dig down into those numbers. And we started to see, okay, what is the speed index? What is the time to interactive? Then we digged further down, on different things like things. And then when we arrived to the results of, let's say, click-through rate and viewability rate and cost per click, that's actually what happened. We knew what levers to use, and then we started to optimize the servers in order to get the optimal result. And that's what, referring back to your question, you need to have your levers real in order to steer your market and funnel. And what happens, again, if you use just traffic which you acquire on CPA base and you pay for acquisition, you're implied as soon as you started to get to create your team internally and actually start seeing those KPIs beyond the main KPIs, you basically put the night goggles on, and now you see more, and you say, okay, we need to improve our, for example, certain KPI, and you know exactly the link between those. And funny that it does make sense, and it will not take you overnight. The success will not be overnight. But referring to the research, what happened is that they started to build a team of 2-3 people, and you'll be surprised to know that this is actually even worse in our industry. If you take a look on this performance marketing teams inside the betting operators, until recently, people were shying away from actually doing this because it was too hard, I guess, or too much work. And it's not that, on a level, imagine the board meeting and everyone say, we need to do personalization, we need to do data-driven creatives, we need to put data everywhere we need. But in order to do this, you need to create the whole department and the whole product manager, and then decide who are your vendors, to put those vendors together to create a solution which works with your KPIs. And this is not something you can start, finish, and say, okay, project successful, we actually improved 5% of our click-through rate, or whatever it is. It's like ongoing activity, which will take more and more resources as we go. So it's not even the decision to, let's do it and see the results. It's like everyone should do it. We should know our numbers, we should increase our value, and we'll start and we will never finish this activity. It's ongoing optimization of the market funnel. And that's why it's so hard. That's why they start slow. They start 1 person, 2 people, 3 people. But it's a bit of a rabbit hole. But the brands which do this, they will win. And brands which are not doing this, they will not.
Now, I'm going to be yelled at. I'm going to give you 30 seconds extra. I know he's going to yell at me, but I've been moderating this, controlling this, so I'm going to get away with it. Is there anything else in the pipeline for 2023 in terms of launches from your end?
Oh, a lot. Sorry, but 30 seconds. Now we're working with digital a lot, and now we see that in US specifically, 90% of budget goes to TV. So now we are actually connecting the digital platform to the OTT and video on demand platform, so to improve the way you can actually advertise with personalized content on those. And this is some kind of another rabbit hole with with a lot of discussions and talking. But that's what we are working on a lot, and you'll see it soon.
Thank you. And if anybody wants to see the display, an example of how the product works, you're outside.
Join me there. I'll be happy to
So do come and speak to Alex afterwards. Thank you for joining us, and have a lovely rest of the day.